Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 26th of November to the 2nd of December 2018. So we begin the week coming out of the full moon in Gemini. So most of the time when we're coming out of a full moon, it's time to go inwards, to do less, to retreat in a way, and to revise everything that has come up for reflection. This weekend we have one of the most golden aspects of the year as the Sun meets with Jupiter in Sagittarius. So Jupiter is finally back home in Sagittarius after a 12-year journey around the Zodiac. And this is very majestic. This is double sovereignty, the Sun being our life force energy and Jupiter being our majesty, and where we're expanding into our larger energy field, letting go of the little, letting go of the restrictions. So very golden energy to begin the week as the Sun meets with Jupiter at home in Sagittarius, and we're coming out of 3 years of very difficult introspection as we have had Saturn and Jupiter both going through Scorpio. So there should be a feeling here of expansion, warmth, generosity, majesty and potential that we can grow into. So sometimes we lose sight of our potential. We're always channeled into smaller boxes, into narrower avenues than we should be. Our perspective is narrowed, our view of ourselves restricted by daily life as we attend to the necessary, as we attend to the rational, as we attend to survival mentality. But on Monday it's worth looking at your potential, seeing yourself in the bigger, breaking free and expanding, embracing your wonderfulness and radiating the best expression of you. So really beautiful energy here to remind us that we're much bigger than this, we're much better than this, to break free of the story and narrative that's built up out of over reality, really, over subscribing to what we're told we have to be by society. On Tuesday, the Sun and Jupiter meet with Mercury retrograde, so a perfect time for introspection and revision. Can revise our idea of ourselves. Can go and revisit and see with new eyes who we really are. But also this is quite a productive week, so a good idea to revise a plan or an idea that you've had, get back to the core inspiration behind it, and then build outwards from there. So sometimes we have a wonderful idea, we try to get it going, it's not quite the right time, or it falls by the wayside. But in a retrograde, it's a wonderful idea to go back, to reconnect, and to start, not again, but to go back to the centre of the idea and to almost pulse it outwards rather than force it forwards. So that's the ideal energy around on Tuesday, to remember the bigness of who we are and to get back to the excitement of a project that we may have let drift but still has valid energy. While Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius, this is how we can look into the limitations. This is how we can unshackle ourselves from the personality story and get back to how we really feel. So we can take the piercing mind, the conscious mind, and we can explore our thoughts with Mercury in Sagittarius. See what we're saying to ourselves, explore the narrative, is it true? And then get back to the heart of the matter, which is what Sagittarius is all about, and feel into our bigness. So more freedom coming in on Wednesday. But it's quite a stripy week because by Thursday we go back to the project. It's a very productive day, something meaningful that we want to achieve. We can actually get on with it now. We can see it through to completion. There's some energy around with the Moon and Saturn, giving us the right timing to get something completed that we really care about. So a very productive day on Thursday. And then Friday, a very healing day, as the Moon and Pluto make a harmonic angle. And this works really well with stepping into our majesty, stepping into our expansive wholeness, as we can have a look at any victim mentalities that we've built up, and we can begin to pull those up at the roots and delete them. The weekend continues with the retrospective. We have Venus preparing to leave Libra for another year and step into Scorpio to do the tidying up, the final details of all of the last 3 years' Scorpionic journey, and Mercury returns to Scorpio for a final week of introspection. So very complex energies there. There's the head and the heart. There's a need to be very honest, open and compassionate as these final details are being taken care of and the final tidying up is being done. So to recap, a very stripy week, starting off very bold, expansive, majestic. But in order to get to that state, day by day, we need to keep having a look at where we're restricting ourselves, the story that's been built up, the mentalities, the behaviours, and clearing up anything that's belittling us. Because we will be stepping forwards in a more sovereign fashion, but it's necessary to get rid of everything that is not serving that. And day by day, switching between self-introspection and doing that clearing up and turning our mind to something that we actually want to create and getting on with it, actually being productive. So those two strings are working in parallel day by day as the week goes on. So the mind needs a job to do, and whether it's to introspect and have a look at whatever we are ready to let go of, or whether it's to turn it towards something productive, both of those are good activities for a restless mind. But beneath it all, it's the heart that matters. And once we stop believing in our narrative and our limitedness, the heart has an opportunity to expand, to be its fullness without those restrictions. But we also owe it to others to allow themselves to be their biggest selves and to get rid of any projection and friction and retention in our relating to others. So complex energies here, but very much preparing us for a new way of being that we're marching towards as 2018 comes to a close. I have a wonderful astrology and gong workshop coming up, and the gong is really very much a relevant healing instrument for these times, radiating those gold tones outwards and clearing away our restrictions on a cellular level. So do come along to our wonderful one-off gong bath in Beckenham, Kent on the 8th of December, and there is a link on my website on the Enchanted Events page, because this will actually be able to physically help you with all these changes that are going on. And I just wanted to mention as well that everything I do, from full readings to the small information packs like moon sign reports and numerology reports, are all available as gifts, especially good for last minute gifts for the festivities, and can be printed out and presented if you're looking for something physical. An astrological reading is very much a long-term gift. It's not just something for Christmas, as they say, but something that can really help at this time for those that are wishing to get to know their true selves. I'm also available all over the Christmas period except for the main days, if you'd like to gift yourself a one-to-one reading as well. So for any of my information, please have a look at www.astrozo.com or connect with me, Facebook at Astrozo, Instagram at ZoeHines7, or email me zoehines7@gmail.com. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.